Okay, let's go live. Hi, good day. Welcome to my tube. I'm Standing Turtle. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. You can feel free to add in the chat. I don't always look at the chat because I find it distracting. So later on, after I get some of the thoughts out of my space, then I'll pop in to say hello. Hope you're doing good. I'm not big on grammar, punctuation, and all that jazz. Anyway, are you ready for the very rude awakening? There's lots of different, everybody perceives their experience in this life, in this incarnate, in their own time. Everybody has the same experiences, they just have a different timepiece. Sometimes some people are born into the world losing their parents. Some people get a whole long life with their parents, have a kind and loving relationship, and at the end of their life, and then they lose their parents, and then they feel the bigger void. Or how do you compare the void of someone that's never been there, the presence of someone that's never been there, and thinking the possibility of what all that could have been, or missing? Everybody experiences everything in different times, and my story is unfolded in a peculiar way, and I feel compelled to share it in a public venue, in thinking that maybe if other people find any common denominators with me, then maybe we're close in frequency. And I believe everything is energy and frequency and vibration. Everything is just all that. The empty space, the vibration of the empty space. We're all just little mirror aspect on the disco ball. And how we reflect in life, well, that's our legacy. And I've reflected poorly in my life. I've been a bad, negative reflection. I've reflected negatively. I've lived in ego. I've chosen me. I'm an Aries sun. That's one of my greatest life lessons, is that this life is not just all about me. It's that we are all connected. Yes, I do need to take time and opportunity for self-care, because I put others before me. I do. Because I'm Aries sun, but I'm also Scorpio moon and Cancer rising. All in the shell of a nut of a Heyoka empath. And if you don't know what a Heyoka empath is, well, you can go down your own anthole. I've done my talks about it. Collect all the data you can. Don't take my word for anything. Just my word. Never just take any person's word for anything. Look into things yourself. How do they feel to you? Do they align with you? Or is everything I say complete bullcrap? If everything I say is complete bullcrap and all you see is some dyke bitch on a freaking screen running her fucking mouth in her bedroom on her bed, hanging out with their dogs, living with their mom, all that storyline, I ain't the storyline for you. You have some more life experiences. You get some more hurts. You soothe your own self. You get through your hurts. You die, you live, you die, you live, incarnation after incarnation. You do that another 100 times, then you come back to me. Then we'll sit and we'll talk about your experiences and all the things you've learned and all the places you've been, because maybe they're different than mine, and maybe you have things to teach me. So, anyway, got a little heavy there. I like to play what-if games and let my imagination wander. I spend a lot of time collecting data, not only in the 3D dimension, but I do the morning talks from data I've collected in my night shift, my ethereal excursions. So I get these ideas in my dreams in higher dimensions where my spirit wanders, and I wake up and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. Make note, make note, make note. That's how I came up with the title today, Very Rude Awakening. I think it's beginning today for a lot of people. But here where I'm sitting, it's cool. It's cool here. It's overcast a little bit. I was already out a little bit this morning, about 7 o'clock, 7:30, chilling with the cat for a few minutes. But we'll see. You know, and I could be wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong plenty. I'm wrong a lot, because I look at the full, I just, when I meet people, I just know that they're full spectrum and they have shadow and light. And so I take them for face value. But people are really good at deceiving. There are people out there that are just deceptors, man. They're just live to deceive people, to create cognitive dissonance, to no matter what, they just like to create cognitive dissonance. I wrote this note that kind of leads into this. The control frequency, it's a vibration in the spirit of people that just like to control things and manipulate, just to create cognitive dissonance. And there are the people that I found to be true for me that never tell you what they want. They only tell you, don't do that. Don't do that. Well, tell me all the things I fucking can do. Because you people keep coming up with shit that I can't do, and then you go, and then you break for the weekend. Because you see, do people realize, was that what happened? Let me look at that. I think that's what's happening. June. No, it's not. September. Okay, I'm wrong. I can't say that. I'm wrong. I did have a cool synchronicity that I went down a little anthole this year, though, or this morning. Did I lose it? Did I wreck it with my wrong? Oh, yeah. Recently I talked. I misspoke. I said an Usher song was an Nelly song. I said an Usher song, and then I heard It's Getting Hot in Here. They're two. Usher and Nelly sings It's Getting Hot in Here. But the thing of it is, it wasn't even really a synchronicity. It was a Mandela effect for me, because in my mind, I remember hearing those two songs closer in proximity. Like, not around the same year or time, but like more closer within like a 4 or 5 year window, kind of a deal. And I looked it up, and I was like, I looked up Usher, because if I catch information that I misspeak, I'll say it, because I misspeak all the time. I got so much data rolling around in here. I'm not 100%, man. I'm an esoteric Sherlock Holmes, but there ain't no perfect circle. So, but that Usher song came out, or Nelly song came out in 2002. It's getting hot in here. That's why, and that was a prominent year for me, because that was the first time I walked into the rooms of friends of Bill W. Started hanging out with Bill W.'s friends, and which was cool. But that Usher song, yeah, is the song I was thinking of. Yeah, the same vibration. See, that's why I'm bad with names, is because I don't care what people's names are. I go by frequency. And that's why I always give people nicknames, so I can, it's just easier for me. Or I used to call people just by their initials. A lot of people do that, or their last name, or, I don't know. I just don't really go by names, because, I mean, like, a person comes onto this earth. If they would have got to know me a little bit, maybe they would have named me Standing Turtle, but not likely, but they named me fucking Margaret Ann Hessick. She's a little mixed up. I was sick. I was born sick. Addison's disease. Sensitive. If that's a sickness. Is it a sickness, or is it a Is it a gift? Some people call it a gift. Because I can read some bullshit. I can. I do get duped. I do. That's just because I get my emotions. I let my emotions get involved. I let my heartstrings get attached. And then, I'm a sucker for a pretty face, boys and girls too. But I'm a monogamous being, and I'm not into promiscuity and talking dirty and being, I think that vibes for one person. That is my opinion, and so people don't need to talk to me that way either, because your vibe goes to somebody else too. And you might not know her yet or something like that, but when you meet your significant other, do you want there to be a history of an account of you talking, how you're talking to them, to perfect strangers? I mean, how are they going to believe what you have to say is valuable at all when you just say it to everybody? That's why when I was in a relationship, nobody ever called me babe, and I never called anybody babe, because it was just so ultra generic. I just never liked it. Because people call everybody that, and I want to be called something different, because I ain't like everybody else. And everybody should recognize themselves as not being like everybody else, unless, of course, they act like everybody else. Then you go ahead, you go in the, sit in that same freak tribe that I was just doing my job squad and all that shit. All that stuff that got us into this place, this mess. The whole mess, people living in ego, chasing them dollars, chasing them Benjamins. Living from their ego, and there's no spirit in that. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, got grounded again. I like to say that, just because they're posting on their don't drink the Kool-Aid too, because they got grounded. They got put in the tube jail for speaking truth, man. It's just so funny. So I don't believe that anybody has any actual way to account about how many people are on this planet. I mean, I think they can ballpark estimate, but I really don't think there's many people on the planet. I think what they like to do is they say there are this many people, and then they pay themselves, and then they say it costs this much money, so we need to tax you this much to support this many people. But when you actually go to these entities, they're not that many people. Like, when you go to these huge government official pages, the Department of Agriculture, Department of this, Department of that, and look at the numbers that they absorb, but actually the people that they populate, it doesn't add up. And I've spent hours doing this. I've actually spent, there's a tarot card reader, he don't do it no more. His name was Dennis Eggleston. He got dabbling in the dark side a little too much. I hope he gets sorted out. Anyway, he came to visit me for a little while before he went on down the road, and he made me some those stones with the little signs on them. They're tools of telling. They're like tarot card. I just read deck cards if I want to have any tarot questions. I usually don't, though. Because usually the universe tells me everything I need to know. I don't really need to go looking for the answers. Even when I don't want to know the answers to shit, here they are. Okay. So he gave me these things, and they fell. Benny got into stuff, and they fell. I haven't thought about him in over a year. Because it's been over a year since he came. I mean, he's come and gone. And they fell down, and so it made me think about him. But when he was here, because he would just do video, that's what I said. I'm like, dude, he was in Oregon. I'm like, dude, you can come hang out here, crash, recharge your batteries, use my Wi-Fi, do videos, and then just, maybe we'll make a plan and do something, work together, kind of thing. But he liked to drink, and I like to drink too, but I can't have that around because it tampers with my vibe. So I can't, and I do it, because I like it, because it tampers with my vibe. But had a different idea about things, and then so when he got here, and I saw how quickly it was going, and then he went off in a different direction. That's cool. But one afternoon he was here. I gotta get up to let the cat out. I spent like 4 hours adding up all of the population of California. Like, and if you Google like 100, like the counties in California, how many counties are in California? And then if you add up, it was weird because they say there's like 32 million, but I only counted up like 24 by county. Because I went into every county and I literally added up I did the math and I got like 24, but they always say it's like, you know, they inflate the C, and that's the thing is like, oh, there's all these poor people. We need these designated funds for all these poor people, but then they keep giving themselves bigger offices, rebranding their logos, you know, going out and doing conferences out there to say, look how much good we're doing. And all these companies, organizations, a lot of them are fronts for freaking child, you know, human trafficking. It's all that stuff is coming out, you know. I mean, I never thought I would live in a world. I just thought, you know, there's this entity of politics and stuff, you know, and you gave your money to them and they took care of shit, you know, and then, but then we started having to pay for more and more stuff, and it's like, well, what are they taking care of? They're not taking care of all the shit they said they were going to take care of. They didn't live up to it, and they keep they're more they're a bunch of rich lawyers, you know, getting information from people that they pay, so of course people are going to say what they want to say, what they want to hear, and then, you know, then they're paying the media with advertising. Oh, you don't want to report that. Oh, you want to, no, don't report that. That's not something you do, because that will prove this, and then everyone will know, and then we won't get to take all their money anymore. And then there'll be anarchy. So you ready for anarchy? You ready for more? You ready for the kids, the grown-ups to come out? The grown-ups with all their guns? You ready for them? All the veterans? The veterans that are like, this is fucking enough. This is enough. Not the kids in the street that are, you know, not them. The ones like the Bros Club that have been going around bullying people because it's just their job. The freaking roided out fucking meatheads that don't have any place to put it, and that have been, you know, like, I don't know, I wonder how many of these guys are football players in the off season. Because those guys, those bros on the bro team, you know, they're not playing football. Maybe they're using their defensive, offensive skills out in the streets of the cities of the people that go watch them play. You know, what if? You know, but I think they make up numbers anyway. They inflate numbers like they inflate their egos. I do remember, though, in 2018-17, doing talks on statistics when the VA system, the military system spent $11 million on male enhancement drugs. Now, why is that such a prominent factor? Yet, population is going down, so it wasn't really working. I wonder what that number is up to now. See, they just waste our money, and then want us to be happy about it and be cool about it. People are not happy about it or cool about it. Then I was thinking about how they like to inflate numbers. Wells Fargo does it. Wells Fargo's in more shit right now. They're just fucking just stop, man. Just call it. Just call it. And all the money that gets wasted on, you know, your extra fees and your bullshit. You know, remember a couple years back they got in trouble for spoofing accounts, for creating accounts, and then they got credit from the Fed. You know, from it's all a gangster. It's just a huge gangster organization, and they got credit from the feds, you know, for all these accounts that they did, because they did all this business and shit. And it was, you know, and then they took advantage of seniors and stuff like that for their extra fees for savings accounts, when seniors are a lot of them, I know, are on Social Security disability, and you can't have more than $2,000, and Lord knows, you know, I mean, I won't her $850 or $700, not even, barely $800. Barely $800. And she hasn't known, like, in her memory, if it wasn't for me, I don't know where she would be. Because who can fucking live on $800? I think we should make all the bureaucrats live on $800 a month, and we should get all their pay. Let's take all their pay. Because they didn't earn it, clearly. Because look at the condition of the world, and then they went off for a nice weekend break, and there's, you know, there's no resolve. and the money's run out. They're stopping the, unemployment's run out. So now here comes the stressors, because people had income, and a lot of people, because they like to live in their ego, so they use that they just looked at it as free money, and they didn't put that money in the bank. They didn't plan for, when the government wasn't going to help you no more. When you're on your own, and people got used to, sucking on the dick, the tit of and a lot of people don't even get what they deserve. That's the imbalance. See, I can go back and forth all day long, but that's the imbalance. Anyway, so before I get too far off about the spoofing account, I think Facebook did the same thing. I don't think that, you want to create an account for Facebook, all these billions of, that many people do not have accounts with Facebook. And then they're spoofed, and then it's all that, and it's redundant data and all that stuff. They're about done. I hope it was weird. Yesterday I went to the page. I'll check in every now and again. It's just another data source to me, data dump to me. So I'll see what the vibe is like there. And I can only tolerate it for about 3.5 minutes before my third eye is twitching, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Why do people share this shit with their friends, It's just rise above that. Just always rise. If you rise up, I got to tell myself this too. Rise above it, Get closer, get more into your spirit, Marge. Because when I get annoyed with it, I'm just as lame. So, Facebook spoofing accounts like Wells Fargo, and then they entice the narrative. Then they entice the narrative, and then that's it's just all they thought they were. People think they're so smart. My mom has lied to me my whole life. My mom and I have a relationship now, but the first part of our relationship, plain up freaking wicked. Okay, she'd tell me she hated me. Maybe she didn't hate me, but she sure fucking told me every month. And then, not only that, it was like, go live with your dad. Go live with. I don't even want you here anymore. Go live with your father. Just let him be let you be his problem. And the kicker of it is I asked for that before. One time I did, because my brother got to go live with him, see what it was about, and I got told no. And then I had a younger sister behind me, and she grew up with her mom, but mom was having a hard time, so she asked if she'd go live with dad. I got told no because there wasn't enough room. He lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. So for my half-sister, he did right by her. See, because he was living in a 1-bedroom apartment, but he moved so that she could have her own room and come live with him. Yeah, so, but it's not just me. I can't ever think it's just me, because if I think that this stuff is just like happens to me, then I start feeling bad, and then my vibes get low, and then I'm like, that's what they want. That's what the narcissist wants. They want you to feel bad when you're a little ray of sunshine, and they feel bad about everything, and they try to take your light, so don't let them take your fucking goddamn fucking light. Don't let them fucking get your goddamn goat. I ain't never believed what people told me on face value unless they, prove it. I used to do things like, I can do 10 push-ups and then do 10 push-ups to prove it. I'm like, can you? Stuff like, just be like, this is who I am, what are you? Not just to show off. People always think I'm showing off. I'm just like, no, this is who I am. This is what I represent. I'm trying to figure out who you are and what you represent. Maybe we can represent some shit together. I'm Hayoka. I always do a little what I'm supposed to do and a little what I'm not. Oh, what's this do? Don't put a button in front of me and think I ain't gonna push it. So if you got buttons these days, you got buttons? I used to have a spiritual mentor that used to say that. They just know how to push your buttons. Why do you have so many buttons? Why do you let them push your buttons? Oh. I can get rid of my buttons? Huh. Wow, interesting. So, yeah, I always just speak in matters of facts, too. Just, to me, they're facts. I have no emotion tied to the things that I say unless I'm like feeling it and you can see like I'm crying, you know, like comes over me, you know, stuff like that. And I'm not talking anybody to directly. If somebody sees me, comes across my tube and sees me, then maybe there's something that I said, maybe not just today, but maybe in the last 1,000 plus videos I've done in the last 3 years, I've said something that might pertain to you. And I probably said more than 3 things that have pertained to you before you want to go jump up and climb up on your fence. Because people like to get offended by me. And the thing of it is I have no control over your emotions, just like you have no control over mine. It is a power, and people are figuring out that that power is theirs as In Vogue comes on for your mind. Oh my God, I love music. I love music. It just, I wear tight clothing. I don't wear tight, well, I do wear tight clothing, but I was gonna say there is a picture of me on snapbacks and high heels too, though. My head was shaved. I'm energetically androgynous. People never. That's why I don't have any friends. They just don't know what I'm gonna do, and they don't want to be around. And it's always in a joyful, explosive, happy way. But joyful people or fearful people hate joyful people. Scared low vibers, they're like cockroaches, and you're like all sun and loud, yay, and they're like, no, like earwigs, get me out of the sun, I must go hide under poop. Low vibers, no vibers, low to no vibers, you know, like attracts like, you know, and that goes for the people that act like they're all joyful and great. You put me in a room where they're just like, oh shit, she's gonna call me out. That's the thing, is I'm like a human lie detector. But the thing of it is, I ain't gonna call people out. I ain't gonna put people on blast unless you're doing the dirty things to freaking kids or animals or stuff like that, all that. I'm like I don't know. Anyway, did I say everything I wanted to say? Because I'm about done. I'm almost ready for a bowl of cereal. What if Facebook? Okay, the control frequency. So be mindful of the control freaks, the narcissists, the ones that always tell you about you, and when you tell them about them, they're just like, you don't get to say, you don't get to say anything about how I live my life. I got a brother, man. He says, he's scripted. He's scripted. He don't talk to me no more. I don't mind. He could really help me out in an instant, too. He could really, but I don't care, because I'm not going to apologize, because I call him a fucking piece of shit. Because he said, you haven't worked in 2 years. He hasn't helped me. He hasn't called Mom to see about how Mom is in probably over a year. He sent her $100 in PayPal. I took this screenshot because it literally says, I have nothing to say to you. This is for Mom. I was just like, all right, dude. When I said you are a fucking piece of shit to Mr. Jerome Allen Hessick, lawyer, top wig, passing notes between his office and Newsom, because he's that important, just ask him. You know, when I made the conscious decision, because it was a conscious decision, that I called him a fucking piece of shit. Yes, I did. Because I knew that that's what his resolve would be. I knew that he would say, I knew that his resolve would be, you owe me an apology and we have nothing else to say until you apologize. And I also knew that I would never apologize, so therefore I once had a brother named Jerry. And that makes me sad. Because I was a good sister. Just never got matched. This is what I was talking about. That's how you have to let the feelings not grab onto you and hold onto you. You just gotta You know, because it's the low frequencies. They are just flying about, and they are looking for a place to go, because people are finding faith. They're finding faith and power within themselves. And so when they find faith and power within themselves, you don't need external shit. You don't need all the security companies. You don't need all the police, because when people self-govern, mostly they don't want to hurt people. So the people that need to be fearful are the people that are the peace lovers, and from the people that have all the guns and militia and stuff, that have police and all these patches and for our own safety. If that isn't the biggest fucking crock of shit in pervy Uncle Sam's history. I've literally been put in handcuffs in front of my own house for trying to get into my house for my own safety. I mean, it's stupid. It's just all to create cognitive dissonance. All of it. But people are figuring it out, and they're like, nope, that's crap, and everybody's recording everything. And, you know, the swinging dicks might have a good time, but it's not, and you might not even be caught on tape. But guess what? There's universe or cosmos, and that is always on record. Your karma is always on record, so people go around. That's the thing. Burning down buildings, causing all the destruction. There is hell to be paid for all the people that have done that collectively. Governments too, because they just take our money to go to other countries. That's all the United States has done. And we've touted that? We're supposed to be proud of that? When are we supposed to be sorry? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I brought the carts that started the B-1 bombers that killed all those innocent people in Iraq. I'm sorry. For Operation Iraqi. I'm sorry I did that for fucking college. Because you know what my karma is? I don't get any credit for my college degree or my years in education. I just take care of my mom. So that's my karma. Because I went into the fucking Air Force to get that fucking degree, and now I don't even get to use the fucking thing. Because I don't have any, because I don't have any community. Because I have a look on my face where I'm always inquisitive and always thinking, yet people who perceive me just say, man, she's mean. You know why? Because they're fucking wicked inside. And I'm just a goddamn reflection of them. And I'm not mean. And if people talk to me and they fucking figure it out for themselves, they will. But if you come at me with mean, I will blast you with that 10 times back. Because it's what Heyoka do. So, I think I covered all the stuff. Surprised I didn't wake up a dog on that one. They're pretty chill today. They're tuck against the wall. Tuck. Is that Mom? Don't. Not in the mood, Mom. Just sleepy guy, Mom. We have a lot of fun commentary around here. I don't let things get too heavy. So, careful of the creeps. They're all coming out. They're all coming out. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so gnarly. I might have to go watch like something Gotham-y or Fifth Element-y or something like that today, because that's the vibe I feel. I just think freaking all hell is just gonna, maybe some supernatural too, you know? That's what I'm feeling like. But hey, don't worry if you've resolved all the shit with your demons. Because your demons can be your friends and say, hey, that guy's, remember when you were a dick like that? He's going to do that, you know? So whatever I see in anybody else, joyful, loving, kind, wicked, deceiving, it's all the aspects that I have in me. All that disco ball that we're all a part of, little mirror of, it's all within each and every one of us. So what you focus on, you're going to match it. You're going to match it, because like attracts like. We all the same freak tribe, y'all. Same freak tribe. Good morning. I'm going to look at the... Don't... It's not scary. Benny. Benjamin. Benny! I mean, it is. It can be, if you tell yourself. Go on, Benny. Be a good boy. Benny, go that way. Good dog. Go the opposite way in which I asked. Go on. Come on. Don't be all disruptive. I thought you were in here. I thought he was under the blanket. I don't even want to know what he was doing in there. Anyway, okay. Yes, it can, but just consider this. I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I'm not. I like fun things and exciting things, but I don't like the I don't know, like, that's why I hate to live in the Midwest. Always almost falling on the ice and almost dying on the ice so many times. It's like, nah, I hate it. So when I think of stuff like that, and plus plus with your when you're sensitive, this shit is you know, you're heightened anyway. But try and think of it as exciting instead of fearful. Try and put it just put different words on it. Because you got to remember you're 70% water too, just like the earth. And when you put words on water, it changes the molecular structure. So you don't want to defragment your structure because you're saying things like, man, that's scary, when you could say, man, that's really exciting. I'm in a really heightened state right now. I'm really elated. You know, and if you go outside, go out and you see some crazy shit in the world, just say stuff like, you know, oh my God, this is, I talk like that, like I'm a reporter, and even if I'm like, this is fucking crazy, like, I can't believe this, right? I'm always wary with my camera, though. I really am, so. Anyway. So, yeah, I'm in you know, it's funny, you're in Northeast Ohio. I try and look for positive things with Ohio because I only have one experience with a girl from Ohio, and it was very, very negative, and she was from Cleveland. But the first song out of the gate today for me was "Polarized" by 21 Pilots, and they're out of Ohio. So that's two things that aren't so bad out of Ohio. Northeast. I'm in Salem, Oregon. The capital, the crap capital. I got a whole folder of corruption that I found in Salem, Oregon, and greed. And I haven't had running water in 3 years. And I'm a decorated fucking veteran. As an age ranger in the mechanic, and now I'm an age ranger in the esoteric realms. Oh, face butt. Hate it. I almost deleted it yesterday. Started to believe the numbers. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Robbie. That's the thing. That's freaking shit, man. That's the thing. I'm ready to go down to tent because I'm looking for a roommate. And that's the thing, is you want people that are resourceful and stuff like that. Freaking go find the people that, you know, you want people that you want a budget that's within reason. Go down to Tent City and go and I've done other talks about that too. Get the people that freaking float a 20-cent balance for fucking 10 days, you know, and they're getting cat food so their animals can eat, and they'd rather eat what their animals can eat than have their, you know, go have their. That's why people eat cat food. That's why old people eat cat food, because they'd rather have their animals eat, and they can get the nutrition from the food from the cat, and the cat wins. So, you know, but this is the society that we've created. But you have all of your fucking buses with BLM bullshit. It's all fucking bowel movement bullshit. It's all shit. People, they just create more offices to fucking pay themselves 6 figures to act like they fucking care about people. And that's why I started, you know, I had a contributor contribute a freaking like $1,000 the other day to my channel. I went, what? Because I put a universal all call out because I got to raise like 10 grand in freaking a month and a half. So I'm like, all right, you know, put it out there. And then I was, holy hell, but I got to remember I'm a Heyoka and I match this shit. And once I get to where I need to be, still living my 49%, 51%. I'm putting that on hold until I move. Everything donated to the channel is all for the move. And then when I get it to my address, or even when it's okay, and I got the green light that that's okay, and I got a place for me and Mom to land, then I'll freaking re-implement, because all the proceeds that I get to the tube, and I keep a ledger. And so I will keep 49% for me, and Mom, and to take care of us, and then I will give 51% to the Robbie, Denise, Rhodas, and the people that live on $1,000 a month. Stuff like that. Because I'm sure you got pretty freaking rad ideas yourself. I'm sure Truth Alchemy has a bunch. I'm sure that anybody that comes is willing to sit and listen to me blab has some kind of good ideas about how some shit can be done. Yeah, I've had to let everyone go. I got nobody left. Just me and Mom, pretty much. Your all-time favorite, JV's Fifth Element? I just packed it up in a box. I should go dig it out. I got it on DVD. I got all kinds of cool DVDs. I'm just like a pop culture freaking nerd geekoid because my life was so fucking horrific. I think you're from Columbus, I think. Isn't that where... Or no, they're from Cleveland. Vancouver, Washington. I've been up to Vancouver. Wait, Vancouver is just on the other side of the river, right? From Portland? Mississippi. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've been to Mississippi. I don't think I went over... I think that's a state I haven't been. Well, I lived in Omaha, Nebraska for 15 years. And Bellevue, that area. And I drove out. We didn't hit Ohio. I haven't been to a lot of the states on the East Coast, but when I do my whole Heyoka tour, I will be sure and hit those. But I freaking... Because I like to drive. It's meditative to me. It's like a video game to me. So I like to drive. So I will see some stuff. That's the thing. One of the things about having this tube is then you meet people now, or you meet people and then go out and visit. Or when I move, people can come visit me because people visit Mount Shasta. It's the Earth's first chakra all over the world, and I'm not going to live too far from there, so I'll just meet you on the trail and we'll take some pictures and stuff. And I'll show you around. I'm one hell of a tour guide. Colorado. My mom's in Colorado. Yep, the Columbia. See, I'm in Salem. I have to go up to the VA to fucking Portland to go to the doctor. So I never go to the doctor. But there's nothing they can do anyway unless they want me to keep... They want me to keep seeing them. They want them to fuck me up like them. I see. I don't even deserve a freaking... I don't even deserve a doctor. I get a fucking PA that went to school in goddamn Des Moines. Who wants a PA that goes to school in Des Moines and trusts their judgment? I asked her to write me a letter to end this nonsense, to say that my migraines were because of my spine. And she's, let me talk to my boss. That's not in our job description. And it was just a nightmare. I mean, those people are a nightmare. And the thing is that people that are in the military, they know that they're a nightmare. That's why they hire them to make them be a nightmare, because the people in the military know that they've just put up with so much shit that they just don't want to anymore, so they just don't. That's why you have so many people that live in the fucking streets and stuff like that, is because your systems are so broken, people can't get through. That's why if everybody got freaking a PayPal and supported, the people they believed in, $5, $10, but no, the big wigs have to, dude, Amazon just profited $54 million. $54 million. I'm sorry, $54 billion. $54 billion. $54 billion. Amazon just profited. And look how shitty they treat their freaking employees. It's all that shit. They're all getting it. They're all gonna get it. They're all gonna get it. There's a song called Sublime called Date Rape. Yep. That's about all I got for now. I hope